I'm in the studio. It's a public holiday. It is Human Rights Day, 21 March. And I was given the project of this Ratanga Junction ad. Guy McDonald voiced it. And what the client asked me to do was to put sort of theme park sounds, like a roller coaster with people on the roller coaster. And I listened to one of their previous ads that they had, and they had a little bit of like of a beat as well playing in the background. So so I have, obviously, let me just mute all the other things. So let me mute the music and the roller coaster. And I just wanted to, I think it's the guy recorded it on an SM7, I think that's what it is, the radio broadcasting microphone of Shure SM7. I think it's, or is it the Beta 7? I'm actually not 100% sure now. The one thing about those mics is that, and Guy has a very loud voice, so I had the gain turned down, but still he needed to watch his distance from the microphone, because I still picked up, and I didn't pick it up in the studio where he recorded it, but I picked it up here in mine. There can sometimes be those pops and those low mid pops from saying like weekend and junction, and like, you know, you get some of the plosives, because the pop shield over those microphones is pretty close, so you need to actually watch your distance. The wonderful thing about Guy as a voice artist, he's so good that he is able to control the dynamics of his own voice. So when you look at the waveform of what he's recorded, it's pretty even. There's not a lot of compression that you need to add to his voice in order to get, because that's what you do when you put a compressor on somebody's voice, is that it's to control the dynamics. And there wasn't a lot that I needed to do in terms of compression. So this is his voice, and I'm going to take all the effects off it first of all.
Don't miss the last days to ride at Ratanga Junction. Sadly, Ratanga Junction, the wildest place in Africa, will be closing its doors for good on the 1st of May. The good news, though, is that the theme park will still be open daily for the school holidays from 28 March.
So there you could hear, like I might have missed that one, daily. So there's a lot of low frequency information.
Don't miss the last days, 8 March until 9 April, and then for both weekends in mid-April. Its final 5 operating days will be from 27th of April until the 1st of May. Don't miss these last chances to ride at Ratanga Junction.
So what I did was I popped on a de-esser to tame some of the S's that came through pretty sharply. So this is what it sounds like with a de-esser on.
Don't miss the last days to ride at Ratanga Junction. Sadly, Ratanga Junction, the wildest place in Africa, will be closing its doors for good.
So tame some of those S's, then put on a normal Logic EQ, and I rolled off from about 75 hertz to cancel out some of that low frequency energy that was coming through, those plosives.
Don't miss the last days to ride at Ratanga Junction. Sadly, Ratanga Junction, the wildest place in Africa.
And I also lifted about 2 dBs on about 7.3 kilohertz, just to add back some of the high frequency energy.
Will be closing its doors for good on the 1st of May. The good news, though, is that the theme park will still be open daily for the school holidays from 28 March until 9 April.
And this is without compression, but I did add a multi-band compressor, because not all the frequencies are jumping out all the time. So I put some a multi-band in to tame, so especially those upper mids that would come through sharply on certain words.
And then for both weekends in mid-April. Its final 5 operating days will be from the 27th of April until the 1st of May. Don't miss these last chances.
And then what I did was I put another, it's a different EQ, but this is more for the tone. Well, actually another compressor, and this is just some light dynamic compression.
Don't miss the last days to ride at Ratanga Junction. Sadly, Ratanga Junction, the wildest place in Africa.
So now you can hear it's a little bit softer because I didn't add too much makeup gain on this one, because I'm going to add another compressor a little bit later on. I prefer doing the compression in stages, a little bit at a time. After that, I added an EQ for the tone, and again lifted the highs, some of the low end and upper mids.
Africa will be closing its doors for good on the 1st of May. The good news, though, is that
there was a certain information that was recorded that I just couldn't get rid of.
That the theme park will still be open daily for the school holidays from.
And then an 1176 from Waves, a CLA 76, again a compressor, just to tame some more.
28 March until 9 April, and then for both weekends in mid-April. Its final 5 operating days will be from 27th of April.
And then obviously when I added I didn't do the vocals in isolation. I did this while running the background effect so I could know exactly how it was cutting through. So the first thing I added was the theme park sound effects, the roller coaster, and this is what it sounds like on its own. It's pretty soft now. So it's different. It's not all one thing, and you can hear that last one was really cool because it would come from the left and move to the right, and that was pretty cool to see. Pretty cool to see as well. And then after that, I added a little bit of a beat, and it's nothing much. It's literally just like a house type of beat. There's no melody. It's basically just a loop. And both of that was under the voice. So then,
don't miss the last days to ride at Ratanga Junction.
So it's very
Sadly,
subtle.
Ratanga Junction, the wildest place in Africa, will be closing its doors for good on the 1st of May. The good news, though, is that the theme park will still be open daily for the school holidays from 28 March until 9 April, and then for both weekends in mid-April. Its final 5 operating days will be from 27th of April until the 1st of May. Don't miss these last chances to ride at Ratanga Junction.
And then obviously just Ozone 8 mastering plugin on the master channel for the final maximization. And a little bit of EQ again, just lows and highs rolling off, because there's a lot of information that that's not needed.
Don't miss the last days to ride at Ratanga Junction. Sadly, Ratanga Junction, the wildest place in Africa, will be closing its doors for good on the 1st of May. The good news, though, is that the theme park will still be open daily for the school holidays from 28 March until 9 April, and then for both weekends in mid-April. Its final 5 operating days will be from 27th of April until the 1st of May. Don't miss these last chances to ride at Ratanga Junction.
Yep, so that was it. 30 seconds on the dot. And sent it off to client, and let's see if any changes are required. But at least I would know what to instruct Guy to do in the future to get even more out of that microphone that it was recording on, so that one can do less corrective moves via EQ and more enhancements. So let's see how it goes.